country gave to me, a president who works for free. Sunday of Christmas, my country gave to me, multiple assaults and a president who works for free. President who works for free. On the 7th day of Christmas, my country gave to me, 7 bombs of flying, 6 players kneeling, not Hillary. 4 statues down, 3 wrong poles, multiple assaults, and a president who works for free. On the 8th day of Christmas, my country gave to me, 8 snowflakes screaming, 7 bombs of flying, 6 players kneeling, not Hillary. 4 statues down, 3 wrong poles, multiple assaults, and a president who works for free. On the 9th day of Christmas, my country gave to me, 9 Russians spying, 8 snowflakes screaming, 7 bombs are flying, 6 players kneeling, not Hillary. 4 statues down, 3 wrong poles, multiple assaults, and a president who works for free. 10th day of Christmas, my country gave to me, 10 barons clapping, 9 Russians flying, 8 snowflakes screaming, 7 bombs are flying, 6 players kneeling, not Hillary. 4 statues down, 3 wrong poles, multiple assaults, and the president who works for free. On the 11th day of Christmas, my country gave to me, 11 students whining, 10 parents clapping, 9 Russians flying, 8 snowflakes screaming, 7 bombs are flying, 6 players kneeling, not Hillary. 4 statues down, 3 wrong poles, multiple assaults, and the president who works for free. Day of Christmas, my country gave to me, 12 talkers staring, 11 speakers whining, 10 parents clapping, 9 Russians flying, 8 snowflakes screaming, 7 bombs are flying, 6 players kneeling, not Hillary. 4 statues down, 3 wrong poles, multiple assaults, and the president who works for free.
We got some good-looking folks back there too. You might have heard of him, Donald Trump Jr. Here, to show the world what it means to be a born free American. And there is absolutely nothing that scares the left more than that, the liberty and freedom that we enjoy. And these are just some of my other favorite numbers. 49 years, that's the last time the unemployment rate was this low, 3.7%, and it's been almost a half century, again, thank you to President Trump. 5 trillion. That's how much wealth has been created for the United States economy with a businessman that understands how to make a buck. Press secretary, and of course, Ivanka Trump, who is a senior advisor. Ivanka has championed women who work. She has fought for an increase in the child tax credit, pushed for paid family leave, and if her last name were Clinton, or if her father were a Democrat, she'd be an icon of women's empowerment. After all, the media absolutely loved her. Remember this, when they thought she was a full-blown liberal? Oh, she could do no wrong. Now she's actually making real strides on behalf of women and empowering them, and God bless her for doing it. And it's just some of the sacrifices this family has made. And she's championing women inside a conservative administration. That throws them on their head, right? She endures nonstop attacks like the rest of the family, even from people who she thought were her friends for years. But she has something in common with her father and with her brother Don Jr. and her brother Eric. And we are damn proud to have her represent all of us and the United States on the world stage. Thank you to the family. The United States, and he came in and became a citizen legally and did not cut the line. He said serving in the United States military was just one small way that he could give something back to this incredible country. When he came back from overseas, that is when he enlisted and proudly served. My mother was Puerto Rican, born in Aguadilla. She taught special education classes to just easy. Do you love it? Boricua in the house? I love it. My parents made sure that I would be a woman who would stand on my own 2 feet. And my dad told me anything a boy can do, you can do better. I started off with the boys soccer team, and now I'm vice chairwoman of America First, the president's super PAC, and I couldn't be more proud to stand with this family. America gave my parents a gift, an opportunity. They made the most of it. It's incumbent upon me to do so, and it is also necessary for you to do so.
Like that of conservative students in history. You don't see gathering of students like that anywhere. And when I look at the crowd right now, it's awesome. I mean, Charlie, where's Charlie? You out there yet, Charlie? You're still hiding backstage? All right. Well, Charlie's done an incredible job. I met Charlie in 2016 on the campaign trail. A good friend of ours said, "Hey, Don, you got to meet this guy. He's awesome. He knows so much about politics. He's really just in tune with everything that's going on." I'm like, "Okay, give me a little bit more information." He goes, and he's 22 years old. I go, "Pass. Just forget it." Right? We didn't know what we were doing. We certainly don't need someone else that doesn't know what they're doing, right? We were just learning this thing on the fly. My friend's rather persuasive, and he said, "Do me a favor, take 5 minutes." And within 5 minutes, I knew that this was a guy that we had to work with. And he literally joined the ragtag team of people in my group, which was me and like one other friend. He convinced me to get in places like Michigan, like Wisconsin, to talk maybe on college campuses, all of those places that conservatives weren't supposed to be. These things can be done. We can keep winning. We can do it. We have the right message, and now we have the numbers to prove it. It's really fascinating to watch that and watch how it's turning out, despite the noise, despite the narrative. I mean, no one in the world perhaps understands or realizes the irony better than I do, that the brash billionaire from New York was the guy that was able to speak to and touch working class America. The blue collar guys that have been left out for decades, they've been lectured at. But there's a difference between being spoken at and having a conversation. And for the guy from New York to be able to do that was sort of amazing.
A portion of people who are seriously disaffected are men. Most people in prison are men. Most people who are on the street are men. Most victims of violent crime are men. Most people who commit suicide are men. Most people who die in wars are men. People who do worse in school are men. It's like, where's the dominance here precisely? What you're doing is you're taking a tiny substrata of hyper-successful men and using that to represent the entire structure of Western society. There's nothing about that that's vaguely appropriate.
But I could say equally that the most rape victims are women. Terrible things happen to people of both sexes.
And you could say that with perfect utility, but that doesn't provide any evidence for the existence of a male-dominated patriarchy.
I would say that anybody with more than a cursory knowledge of 20th century history who dares to claim simultaneously that they have compassion for the downtrodden and that they're Marxists are revealing either an ignorance of history that's so astounding that it's actually a form of miracle or a kind of or a kind of malevolence that's so reprehensible that it's almost unspeakable, because we already ran the equity experiment over the course of the 20th century.
Based on your interpretation that professors can use racial slurs in their classroom and that the inability to do so would violate their freedom of speech.
There's a difference between saying that there's something you can't say and saying that there are things that you have to say. And I regard these made-up pronouns, all of them, as the neologisms of radical PC authoritarians. Do you understand that? And I'm not a fan of that sort of person. And the reason I'm not a fan of that sort of person is because I've done my homework. I've read everything I can get my hands on in the development of authoritarian political systems, and I know the literature inside out and backwards. And I am not going to be a mouthpiece for language that I detest. And that's that.